Sorry about this. Now, when you're brewing beer at home, you really need to care. You need to treat it as if it's one of your own. That's what I intend to do with this Mangrove Jack's Pink Grapefruit IPA Malt Extract Beer Kit. Looking forward to this. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos. Let's crack on. So yeah, before I got started, it's good if you're using a malt extract kit to warm it up beforehand, so when you pour the malt extract out, it flows a lot more easily. There is the bag in a bucket of hot water there. I should have taken the yeast out beforehand. I wasn't really thinking, but got away with it in the end. So opened up the bag, there's the hops there, 25 grams of Simcoe, 25 grams of Cascade, lovely little Timothy Taylor in the background, and West Coast yeast, M44, and of course instructions. Where would we be without those? Absolutely lost is the answer to that question. And there we go, Timothy Taylor, the drink of choice for this particular brew day, or brew evening in this case. So yeah, I'm in the garage, as you can tell. I have to pour some hot water in first, 3 litres of boiling water in the bottom of the fermenter, then the malt extract gets poured in, like so. Like I said, always warm it up beforehand so it flows a little bit easier. Brewing sugar, 1 kg for this recipe. Chuck that in there. And the camera goes blurry, very convenient. So there's 3 litres of boiling water, malt extract, sugar. Stir it up, make sure all the malt extract's dissolved. You don't want it sticking to the bottom of the fermenter. And then top it up with cold water to the 23 litre mark. Take a gravity reading before you kick off. Just about 42 there, 1.042, which is a good place to be for the start. And the yeast gets chucked in there, make sure the lid is sealed. Airlock, obligatory airlock, stick it in there. Keep the nasties out. There we go. All set up. Ready to ferment, fingers crossed. A little bit worried about the temperature in the garage. So it's probably about 10 degrees now. I've got the heater, the immersion heater, plugged in. So hopefully that can keep it up around like above 20 degrees. 22 degrees would be ideal, but I'm not sure I'm going to get there. It's on 18 degrees at the moment, but heater's only just gone on. It's about 9 o'clock now, 9 PM. Hopefully by tomorrow morning, 12 hours or so, should see a little bit of fermentation kicking off. Some bubbles coming out the airlock, fingers crossed. Yo, so it's exactly 3 days since I set the brew up. Been checking in every sort of 12 hours or so. Rather disappointingly, I haven't seen any bubbles popping off in the airlock, which had me a little bit worried. But there's obviously something going on. I don't know if you can tell on the camera here, but there's quite a lot of foams built up at the top of the brew here, and you can see it on the top of the, just in the last 24 hours it started to touch the top of the fermenter. You can't really see it, so there's obviously something happening. That foam building up, suggesting that some fermentation is going on. What I suspect, the reason we haven't got any bubbles in the fermenter, in the airlock, sorry, is because I haven't got an airtight seal, because I've got this immersion heater in there. I tried to bung it up with blue tack and stuff. It was a bit of a fudge, but obviously hasn't worked. Forgot to mention this on the video, but the immersion heater did a great job of keeping the temperature around about 22 degrees, which was perfect for the brew. So, happy days. So yeah, going to leave it for another couple of days and then probably add the hops. Now I've got 50 grams Simcoe and Cascade, I think it was. Okay, so day 7. I haven't checked on the brew for a couple of days, and look what's happened. A little bit lively. It's flowed up through the airlock, not ideal. At least we know that something's been happening, a bit of fermentation's been kicking off. So I'm going to take a gravity reading today and check if it's okay to add the hops. So I whip the airlock out, crack the lid off there. Careful not to damage my immersion heater. Lovely little foamy mess there. So 1.022 roughly, which was perfect really. Needs to be less than 1.025, so that was fine. Chuck the hops in, Cascade, Simcoe hops, 50 grams combined. Just leave them on top, don't stir them in, just let them disperse gradually over a few days. And then stick the immersion heater back in there and reseal the lid. So I waited about 6 days, I think, after I put the hops in to have another look. I actually forgot to take a gravity reading, which was a bit of a rookie error, but the fairly certain fermentation had already stopped at that stage, so I was ready to transfer it into my second fermenter, as you can see there. Filling up nicely there. It's a bit of a slow process, but we get there in the end. So I managed to transfer about 19 litres. You have to stop before you get to the bottom of the fermenter. You don't want to look gunge getting in. I was never going to drink any more than like 10 litres anyway. So sugar solution, chucking that in there for the bottle conditioning. Basically fermentation carries on after you bottle the beer. That's how you carbonate the beer. And then my bottling kit's ready. So yeah, I started filling them up. I think I filled about 20-25 bottles altogether. Now just to leave the beer to condition in the bottles, and eventually they'll be ready for a taster. Okay, so it's been bottled for 2.5 weeks. Just over 4 weeks, 4 weeks and 1 day since we started the whole process, since brew day. Can't really see on the video, but it's looking pretty transparent now. Don't worry about that soapy stuff on the outside, that's just some sanitizer that's dried. So I'm ready to give it a try. Oh, hello. Now it's bottle conditioned, so I've got to be careful about the sediment in the bottom of the bottle. Don't want to get any of that in the drink if I can help it. Nice carbonation, looking a bit lively. It's what you expect when it's bottle conditioned, which is good. So yeah, it looks pretty clear. There's a slight bit of haze to it, but a little bit hazy. Smells nice. Advertises a pink grapefruit IPA, Cascade and Simcoe hops. So I'm expecting a fruity IPA, hopefully. Not too bitter. My last brew was way too bitter. Cheers. That's lovely. That is actually very good. I'm surprised by that. Awful lot better than my first attempt. Probably won't include the full clip in the video, but I actually tried this 10 days ago after it had been bottled for a week. And yeah, it wasn't ready yet. It tasted okay. It was a little bit vinegary. You could just tell it needed a bit more time. So I wasn't holding that much hope for today, but I am glad it's improved so much. Looks great, doesn't it? Look at that. Really lively. Nice beer. Nice beer. Proud of myself. Cheers.